Good day. I want to start off with a couple of observations. I came upon this the other day, and it is a story, might be apocryphal, I don't know, might be. It's about Einstein. Whenever you hear anything about Einstein, you can always guarantee that it is being somehow distorted in some way, the particular story. But it goes something like this. This is the story. When Einstein was a teacher at Princeton for a period of time, he was there for, I think, 20 years or something. The story goes that he was giving the same test. This is the story. Over and over and over again. Never changed it. And that his folks, his fellow professors and the like, said, Al, the students are on to you. They're not studying because you keep giving them the same questions. And the same questions. And they know, and they have it ready, and they are responding to the same questions. And Albert Einstein, supposedly, or supposably, as people say, he responded, but you don't understand. The answers change all the time. Questions are the same, but the answers change. What do I want from you, grasshopper? What is this about? What are we doing here? Is that all there is? As the great Peggy Lee said. I don't want to sit here and just respond to news stories like so many other very good people do. They have a podcast, they have a live stream, Durham report, let's talk about it. This and that, let's talk about it. Trump said this, let's just react to it. I want to analyze it. I want to talk about it. I want to sit back, hold it up, look at it and say, now let's make sure we understand what's going on here. And I don't think we really understand what's going on. One of my favorite jokes ever is a very simple one. And it goes like this. What's another word for thesaurus? Now, you either get it or you don't. It's not a knee slapper. But the joke obviously involves the fact that a thesaurus is a book of synonyms. It's where you go to find other names for things. So what do you call the book of other names? What other name do you have for a book? It's kind of circular. I told that joke for years. It's not even a joke. It's just, and nobody got it. There was a dictionary. I'm thinking, is it me? Am I doing something wrong? Maybe it's me. Maybe it's my delivery, right? No. They didn't get it. That many people didn't get it. I thought it was so obvious. I told you the other day, my mother we had this line that we loved. It was so funny. He said, death sometimes changes people for the worse, which just kills me. Because of the contextual irony, the absurdism. I told you this one too. You know why I do this, right? This. Money? No. This. Okay. If I have to explain it to you, I don't know how to tell you this. I don't know how to tell it to you. I don't know how to say it. I don't know how. I don't know. I don't know. But we're going to try. We're going to try to go through this. And I just did a brand new piece on our channel here to maybe explain to you this Durham report. And it says the Durham report reveals systemic FBI criminal corruption. And also it's a nothing burger. And it's also a limited hangout. And it's so incredibly important for me to explain this to you and point it out to you. There it is right there. This is for you so you can watch this. Now, stepping back. What did Durham accomplish? What? Well, it's very interesting. What did Durham accomplish? We don't really know. We don't really know, and the reason why is because of a couple of things. First, this is kind of interesting. We knew everything he was going to say. Everything he was going to say. Everything. Everything he said. Everything. We knew. Isn't that incredible? Nothing new. Nothing that he came out. Nothing that he said was a shock. That's the first thing. Nothing. We knew everything about Hillary Clinton. We knew everything about everybody else. We knew everything about Peter Strzok. We knew everything about Carter Page, Papadopoulos, Perkins Coie, Fusion GPS, the FISA, everything. Let me say this to you. Everything. He revealed nothing. Stop for a second. Do you understand what that means? You understand what that means? Nothing. Let me see if I can explain it again to you. It's very important. Nothing. He revealed nothing. Now, right off the bat, I happened to watch on my phone. I was watching YouTube. They had somebody from Fox News. Fox News has been so gutted, so defanged. It's incredible when you look at what they've done. It's incredible. Okay? Seriously. Incredible. Unbelievable. After the Dominion case, after they got rid of Tucker, after everything, after Peter Doocy is, or I guess that's his name, Steve, I guess, is chiding somebody for being mean to Biden. It's just incredible. They are so defanged, so castrated, so impotent as a real, serious, hardcore conservative or whatever. But I mean, I can't believe it. But anyway, they never brought this up. They had Andy McCarthy, who was very good. I think he's one of my favorite reviewers of this, just to review stuff. But he never brought up the fact that this is an investigation that we already knew. Even the Warren Commission pretended to maybe throw something out like, gee, we don't know. No. They knew this. Everybody knew all of this. So that's number one. Nothing happened. Number two, nobody reacts to it. Nobody reacts to this. In 36 hours, maybe a day and a half, gone, like it never happened. Nobody will be prosecuted. Nobody will be brought to justice. Nothing. This is a limited hangout. I want to read this to you. And I put this in it, and it's one of the most important concepts you must understand. Let me read this to you. This is I put a pretty good, very thorough kind of a review from a variety of sources. Limited hangout is indeed a term used in intelligence circles to describe a specific type of propaganda strategy. It involves the deliberate release or disclosure of only a partial or a limited amount of information regarding a scandal, criminal act, sensitive data, or classified information. The purpose of a limited hangout is often to create an impression of transparency or criticism while withholding crucial details or the full extent of the story. There are several possible intentions behind a limited hangout. One motive is to establish credibility as a critic of a person or an organization or an event. Like Durham, he's a critic. He's a watchdog. By publicly engaging in criticism while in reality covering up or protecting them by omitting important information or by repeating that which you already know. This tactic allows the person or entity orchestrating the limited hangout to distance themselves from the subject in question while privately holding sympathies or connections to them. Remember, everybody's in it. You don't become a U.S. attorney for Connecticut and not lose an affiliation to the Justice Department. You just don't. But anyway. Another objective of limited Hangout is to divert public attention from a more severe or egregious act by leaking information about something less significant or harmful. That's Tucker Carlson. That's the Twitter files. By focusing public scrutiny on the relatively minor issue, the intent is to shift attention away from the more serious wrongdoing or misconduct. Overall, a limited Hangout is a strategic information release that aims to manipulate public opinion and perception, obscure the complete truth, or redirect attention. It is important for individuals to critically assess and seek out comprehensive information to avoid being misled by such tactics. Do you remember what Daniel Ellsberg was? Remember what the Pentagon Papers was? Remember what it was? We already knew that. We knew all that. Pentagon Papers, we knew this. We knew it. He didn't tell you anything you didn't know. Rand Corporation stuff, nothing. Oh, it might be a name or something you don't know, but nothing. It never happened. But nobody knew this. That's the first thing. Second, no prosecutions, no nothing. He's using terms like, well, and I love the way they say, well, this really shows a revelation of so much. Let me explain to you. This doesn't have any. This has no. What am I trying to say? This has no corollary in recent or relatively recent history. Nothing. Now, I'm so lucky I was born when I was. During Watergate, Johnny Carson had on Rich Little, and Rich Little would do imitations of the various senators. Ed Gurney from Florida, he would do so many. Watergate it captivated the country. Dick Cavett used to have Watergate, sometimes some of the Watergate actors on his show. It was so important. It was so, entertainment and current events were so enmeshed. It was incredible. Watergate, Vietnam. I mean, really good stuff. Today, we have the illusion of discussion. Shorts. Why are shorts so important? To get you used to knowing nothing. Just boop. That's all you need to know. That will satisfy you. Boop. And pretty soon, it'll be shorter than that. It won't even be called short. It'll be called short. Boop. That's it. Next. Boop. Do you want to get to the boop? Wait a minute. Hold it. Stop. Boop. Stop doing that. Boop. Wait a minute. We're not done. Next story. Afghanistan. Boop. We pulled out of Afghanistan. Boop. This is. I was reading and reviewing and studying, going back and just looking at Bernays and Walter Lippman. This is the man who gave us the term stereotype. And what he said about the media. This is, listen to this. I got to read this for you. This is so good. On my private channel, I just did 3. This is Remembering the Genius and Direction of Walter Lippmann. I just did one. And it works something like this. What is it? Walter Lippmann was a journalist and a writer. And I think he won 2 Pulitzers. And he held the view that news and truth are not synonymous. Now, you might say to yourself, well, that doesn't seem to be that great. Well, it was a big deal then. He believed that the function of news is to signalize events, while the function of truth is to uncover hidden facts, establish their relationships, and create a comprehensive understanding of reality that can guide human actions. He emphasized that journalists' versions of truth are subjective and limited by their own construction of reality. And he gave us this idea, and it may have seemed to you to be pretty, well, that's kind of ordinary. No, this was this was almost heretical for you to suggest that journalism was incorrect. And he was being polite. Now we don't believe any of it. There is no journalism. But what Lippman doesn't understand is if I could bring him back, or if I could somehow, see, you don't understand. When you were around, the people who ran the media were themselves professional journalists. There were families, there was the idea of Hearst and the Grahams who ran the Washington Post, and there were others as well. There were these media folks, and they were big and they were huge and they did their thing. And we actually had Cronkite and Murrow, and oh my God, they were the dashing, during Murrow's time, the dashing war correspondent. Oh my God. They seemed professorial. Many of them were highly educated, they were actual members of academicians themselves, stentorian in their delivery. They were incredible. Today we have Brian Stelter, Don Lemon, Fredo Cuomo. This is what we have today. Tucker Carlson, though he wasn't really, he was more of a commentator. Steve Doocy. That's where we are today. So that's number one. Number two, the people who own the media own everything. During Lippman's time, they had people like Mellon, they had people like Carnegie, Henry Ford, J.P. Morgan, that kind of a Rockefeller and gilded, era. They had, their homes, their cottages. They call them cottages, and on Newport, and oh my God. Okay, fine. Well, what's interesting to note as well, which is kind of interesting, today you have people who make their wealth dwarf their wealth. They're just, it's not even, and these are the strangest people who I don't even know if they even appreciate their wealth. I don't even know what they might have planes, but they're a bunch of slobs in t-shirts who have no class, no finesse, no nothing. They're not boulevardiers. They're not flaneurs. They're none of that stuff. They're just kind of, and basically what they are is they are agents, if you will, for a bigger superstructure, which is kind of like a shadow government. And they're like the front line, so to speak, of this. They're the front line of this. Okay. Why is this important? Well, it's important for a number of reasons. First, and this is critical, you got to understand that we have a different power structure. Media mean nothing today. It's been, if you went back to Lippman's time, you've got individuals who are going to be trying to break down and unpack and plumb the depths of this story. Breaking news. And this is what I want you to understand. Point number one, they will get nothing. They will get nothing. They will accomplish nothing. Number two, do you have any idea of what it is, of what Trump did for this? Does anybody have any idea of what Trump does? No, Trump is, he's a lot of people, a lot of things, a lot of people. But what he does, and what he did, which is so interesting, was Trump came along. And Trump, we never knew, I never did. I mean, I knew they wouldn't like him, but I didn't know this. Trump came along and did something. It was almost like, I hate to use a vaccine analogy, but it was almost like this virus that entered the system, unleashing all the antibodies. The deep state, the police state, the intel state, the shadow government, the ruling class, these people all surrounded him and wanted to neutralize him. I don't really know why at first. I mean, they didn't like him, but they wanted to maybe see if they could do it, enjoy the scrum, teach them a lesson. It could be a combination of a lot of things. But just like the body reacts, like the immune system reacts to some whatever, that's what they did. They came out of nowhere. And what they did, which is so interesting, what they did was they didn't even care whether you saw what they did or not. That's the interesting thing. Let me say this again, and I want you to understand what I'm saying. Everything that they did, everything you knew about ahead of time. Everything. From what they did to Carter Page, to Peter Strzok, to this one, to that one, to you name it. Listen to what I'm saying. Everything they did, they told you ahead of time. This is what we're doing. They knew it. You knew about Perkins Coie. You knew about Fusion GPS. You knew about the Steele memo dossier. You knew how Hillary Clinton basically concocted a story, paid for a fictional story, almost going to like a, wag the dog or a screenwriter. Write this story for me. Give me a hard copy. I can say, well, there it is. There's the Steele dossier. They didn't even have to pay anybody anything, but it didn't matter. They wanted to have something. There is the document. And that document, which was never vetted, it became the basis for everything. Right before your eyes. Watergate was nothing. It was a fender bender compared to this. Do you understand what I'm saying? Tell me you grasp this. They did this to a private citizen, and they unleashed the FBI. And that creepy, weird Peter Strzok with that. This guy just did. And the text messages, again. If you're going to be involved in the biggest scandal ever, make sure you don't get a burner phone, or maybe just don't text. Why are you texting? Why? Did they ever, he supposedly have this, whatever her name was, Paige or whatever her name was. Did they ever have any romantic connection? They were always texting each other, and it unleashed the Mueller report, two impeachments. They moved in. Carter Page, how this guy never sued, I have no idea. Going to the FISA courts, lying to federal judges. Nobody held in contempt. I am telling you, and I want you to listen to me. And you're not, this is like me trying to tell you the joke. Say me trying to tell you the joke about the thesaurus. It's bigger than anything you can imagine, and it's going to be forgotten so fast. And your guy, your boy, your savior, Durham, told you everything you already knew. And his bottom line was, but I don't recommend anything be done. I just want to let you know what you already knew. And nobody nothing. I don't know how to tell this to people. And I'm not seeing it. You're not going to hear it. You're going to hear them talk about it, but not what it means. And the public has become so used to this, so habituated to this, they don't react anymore. They don't care anymore about it. It's no big deal. What am I going to do? The same thing is with AI and AGI. Forget it. Don't think people are even remotely, they don't get it. It's like they don't get the joke. It doesn't mean anything. Have you ever had friends of yours? Who didn't take a health condition seriously? And you wonder, why are they doing this? Why are they doing this? I have not really a friend, but kind of like a distant, I kind of know of it. And this man has a relative who went through a psychotic episode, a schizophrenic episode, had to be hospitalized, and he doesn't understand what this means. And I'm not about it. I'm not going to tell him. But he doesn't understand what it means. He thought it was like, they'll grow out of it. Wait a minute. He had to be hospitalized. The police were called. He had a full-blown schizophrenic episode with hallucinations and everything. He's not going to pull out of it. You don't slip. It's not like, you're diabetic and your numbers go down and you can say, well, my A1C was high, but now I'm okay and I've got everything under control. And yeah, you might have things under control, but he has no idea. Never picked up the phone, never researched anything, no idea. That's what America is. They have no idea. None. And the people, my fellow podcasters and YouTubers and creators, they don't get it either. They're just going through the motions. They're just, well, I'm going to do my piece today. We're going to talk about the Durham report. Well, that's what I do. That's what I do. And I'm going to talk about that. And then I'm going to talk about maybe Trump. And then, I don't know, maybe something about the border and, No, I don't expect people to, slit their wrists or to wear a hair shirt or whatever it is. But nobody gets it. And I'm sorry to say this. They don't really understand it. The level of contamination, this putrescent collapse of our system that is you're made aware of is beyond anything I've ever seen. And there's no going back and there's no improvement. Nothing. And there's nothing you can do about it. Nothing. You know why? Let me ask you. Do you know why? Why do you think? I'm not being negative. Why do you think? Why do you think? I don't think people... The answer is simple. We have a different kind of America today. We have people who have more access to more information and they know nothing. But more important than that, they don't know what things mean. They don't get the joke. They answer the question. What's another word for thesaurus? Dictionary? No, that's another. Yeah, you missed the point. That's what they do. They missed the point. The Durham thing is one of the funniest things. I think it was, who was it, Martha McCollum, and she's, well, we're here with Andy McCarthy. Andy said, excuse me, I'd love to walk on the set. Excuse me, pardon me. You don't know who I am. I'm sorry. I don't want to scare you. Martha, you don't understand this, do you? You're asking Andy McCarthy questions here like you've enjoyed some kind of revelation. You do understand there is no revelation, right? You do understand that. Am I just want to let you do understand this. Just tell me once. Tell me, yeah, I get it. I understand this. Tell me you understand that this is a person who ran for president, who has been, you're just so used to it because you don't like him and you work for Fox and you had the Dominion lawsuit and you're told to kind of, hey, tone it down. We're going to sell this place. Be quiet. We got a shareholders derivative. Keep it down. You have no idea what's going on here, dude. As an American, you don't get this. People used to think that Richard Nixon, this was a constitutional crisis. You unleash the entire intelligence sources against an individual and you have a report that basically tells you everything you already knew. That's like saying the Warren Commission says that Kennedy was shot. It's like, I knew that. Well, I just want to let you know. No, that's not. Remember the 9/11 Commission? I'm not even going to go there. I gave up. I officially gave up. America has no interest in that. No interest in AI, AGI. No interest in this. America has interest at the surface level. Little things. Especially if somebody's funny looking, or if you can make fun of somebody, or if it's real obvious, like hey, let's look at the border. Why? Well, there's B-roll, and we can see it, and it's easy to understand. I don't have to get off my beanbag chair, and I don't have to do anything, but I'm just staring at this. And I could talk about that and then move on. Or we could talk about Dylan Mulvaney. That was great. Very easy. Very easy. This is, got it? Okay, Dylan Mulvaney. Okay, got it. That's it. So the issue that I would tell Walter Lippman is, here is my issue. My issue is not explaining it. We've got so much access to it. Nobody understands anything. The American people do not understand this. Ukraine, forget it. Don't even begin. Don't even begin. It's unbelievable. Hillary Clinton, forget Hunter, Hillary got away with, I don't even know what to tell you. We are a lawless society. The Constitution doesn't apply to anybody anymore. We live in this fake world of fake news and fake, and because people hate Trump so much, you can do anything you want to him and nobody cares. What they did to Trump defies, it's embarrassing. Embarrassing what they did to this man and are still doing because of this weird fetish that people have, this Trump derangement syndrome. I've never seen anything like it. So get your fill of the Durham report today, because tomorrow it's done. It's finished. Done. Because Americans don't understand it. It's too much heavy lifting. What? They don't know. What does this mean? What does this mean? I'll never forget one time I was on TV when the Higgs boson, the Higgs field, was pretty much, remember the Hadron Collider and CERN and all this stuff. And it was, I'll never forget, there was somebody who was trying to explain, this is one of the most important moments of human existence, to determine what is responsible for mass. The Higgs field. And no amount of attention was applied. None. Nobody cared. I'm saying, do you understand this? That's my thing. They called it the God particle. No, that's not it. The Higgs field, it was like, forget it. And I realized, forget it. I remember one time, I was on TV and I said, Benghazi, the rebels. This was when people hated Libya. They didn't know why, because they told you that, well, because Gaddafi, he's weird looking. The Sergeant Pepper outfit. People hated Gaddafi. Hated him. Just like Putin hated him. Evil. Oh, Erdogan, evil. Why is he evil? He's evil. Bashar al-Assad, evil. Why is he out of? Because he's. I don't quit asking me questions. Okay. I'll never forget this. It was I think one of my proudest moments, and nobody cared. It was an expose that was so good, so earth-shattering. It could have, it in any other universe, I would have been either crushed, fired, or heralded as the Ellsberg of my time. I said, this is a place called Benghazi. They didn't know. This is the courthouse. This is the Al-Qaeda flag. The rebels are Al-Qaeda. Our rebels that we're promoting, Al-Qaeda. And the crickets were deafening. And that's when I realized, wow. I don't know what I'm worried about. During Vietnam, people had maps out. Where's I-Corps again? Or where is this? Okay, Phnom Penh, got it. Okay, Cambodia, got it. Right, Da Nang, right. Laos is here. The Laotian border. We got Cambodia. Okay, I got it. Yeah, Pol Pot. Okay, here. People knew it. Before that, World War II, they had maps. They didn't have any kind of TV. Some radio news, everything. But they knew. They had a magazine once a week, and they knew. They knew where stuff was. Here, no idea. How do we get people to pay attention? How do I get attention deficit disorder, with all due respect, people to pay attention? How do we do it? I need your help. You can go right now and you can watch so many shows, so many, oh my God, so many podcasts in the morning. I mean, live. Let's do this, live. But I'm thinking, that's not it. How do we get people to understand what it is, that what this means? Say, hey, wait a minute. What are you going to do about this? No, I mean this. What are you going to do about this? Hey, Jim Jordan, what are you going to do? What are we going to do? Biden, what are you going to do? Under your watch, your Department of Justice, is there an inspector general? Is there anybody? Is Merrick Garland? Are people going to protest? Is anybody going on TV? Will anything be said? No. Why is that? Because we just... No, seriously. Why not? Why not? Why? People never stop talking about Dylan Mulvaney and Budweiser. I couldn't believe it. Well, at this bowling alley, Dave, here they are pouring. Remember Freedom Fries years ago, and they would pour out champagne, which was stupid, because I thought, that's not champagne. You're an idiot. They're not doing that. Anyway, what do we do? As we speak, our borders are being traversed by people we don't know. What do we do? How? Let me give you a story. First time I went to Israel, I went with a group called America's Voices in Israel. There's a bunch of talk radio hosts. We all went there. I'm part of a group. They got clearances. We went. I showed up at the Newark airport. I walked over to about to get to the counter, and this guy comes up to me. He's with Al or something. He says, excuse me, I want to talk to you for a minute. I said, yes. He says, I want you to look at me because I'm trained to detect deception. I swear to God, look into my eyes. I'm not kidding you. He said that to me. Okay. Where are you going? I said, I'm going to Israel. Where? I said, well, I don't really have the itinerary. I said, you see that lady over there? She brings people on tour. She knows. You want to talk to her? No, I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to talk to me. How long are you going to be there? I said, I think 4 days. I think. You might want to talk to her. No, I want to talk to you. Okay. Where are you staying? What's the name of the hotel? I said, it's something David. It's not King David. I know you don't want to hear this. I said, I don't have the itinerary. I don't know. Have you been here before? No. Do you know anybody here? No. So finally I said, okay, that's enough. I said, by the way, you got to tell me. Why are you talking to me like this? You know I'm with these people. You vetted me. You ran my name. Why are you doing this to me? He says, we want to know who's coming into our country. But I'm with her. I want to hear it from you. But I'm with a group of people who I don't care. I want to hear it from you. You're coming into my country. I said, well, don't you worry about the plane. I don't want to worry about that. They had air marshals and, oh my God, they just stuck out like a sore thumb. That was no problem. Granted, it's a small country. You can do it. But I'll never forget this. He says, I want to know who's coming into my country. Do we know who's coming into our country? No. Do we know where they're from? No. Do we know if they're sick? No. You know what else we don't know? Why I only have 158 likes? What's going on here? That's what I want to know. That's what I want to know. Nothing in my country makes sense to me now. Nothing. I go through one day to the next saying, I don't get this. I don't understand what's happening. I'm thinking it's me. I'm thinking I'm doing a terrible job. I expect people to say, are you going to... Nothing? Oh, well. Yeah. Peter Strzok, he was a weird guy. Yeah. Does this bother you? Not really. You do know that Trump tried to run. Yeah, I know. And if you... Hillary Clinton said that her election was scandalized and interrupted by virtue of Russian... Yeah, but there were no Russians. Yeah, I know that. You know that, right? Yeah. Well, doesn't that bother you at all? No. It doesn't? Nope. Does anything bother you? Nope. Why? I just don't get bothered. I don't know. I don't care. Nothing bothers me. Is it the medication? Maybe. It's just a different world now. There's so much to keep me busy. So much to keep me bored. Maybe you got upset in the old days because you didn't have TikTok. Maybe you didn't have games or war of battlefield, whatever. I don't know. Maybe you had too much time on you. Maybe you had too much time to think. Maybe your education was better. Maybe you were better at critical thinking. Maybe. I don't know. But we don't do this now. We don't care about this. You understand. We don't care. We pretend we care. We like kind of things. We like hashtags or whatever. But we really don't want to get in too much deep. And the people who you would think would be the most involved in this, absolutely without. So let me just tell you something right now. This report, this Durham report, is so big, so huge, and in 1972, it would have rocked this country. But it's not going to even get a blip. And if you think that John Durham is going to risk his career and his retirement and he won't live in some pastoral setting with Bill Barr, doing the Eric Holder, maybe getting some, who knows. If you think he's going to say, okay, I'm going to do this, but I'm just going to repeat everything that everybody knows. Limited Hangout, and then that'll be it, and you'll be happy. And that's it. Peter Strzok, what happened to him? I don't know. And then you're going to hear today Jim Jordan and maybe Ted Cruz or somebody else. And then tomorrow is back to normal again, like it never happened. Mark my words. Nothing ever sticks. We have the attention span of a gnat. We are, as Gore Vidal says, the United States of amnesia. And I'm not upset about it anymore. I just realized I'll do the best I can. I'll tell you what's important. And then you can do what you want. Or we could talk about Dylan Mulvaney again. Or we can talk about, I don't know, another bad plastic surgery or some, I don't know what. And the biggest story, AI, AGI, not even a clue as to why that is. You'll never hear. And if you really want to see the worst of the worst of the worst, 200 likes, 200 likes, come on. What are you doing to me? 200? If you want to see the worst of the worst of the worst, look at local news. Local news is, you can't even... Do you see where you're going to be losing AM radios in cars? Did you see that one? In EVs, you're going to be losing AM radio. Anybody care? No. Except the AM radio people. They're going crazy. Because they're still living in they still think it's Cousin Brucey at the beach with a transistor. I guess. I don't know. The most incredible thing in the world. The most incredible thing in the world. So, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I thank you for that. I thank you for that. Let me also tell you that if you are wise, you will continue to follow this channel. You will understand what I'm trying to say. You will leave this and you will not necessarily, you'll go and you'll learn. You'll be an autodidact. You'll plumb the depths of the issues. You'll unpack it, so to speak. And you'll find out how important this is. Because it is immensely important. You know, okay? Serious? Okay. Anyway, I want to thank you for your time. Thank you for your immane, brobdingnagian, your colossal focus, your spirit, your intellect, and the like. We'll see you tonight, 7 p.m., same bad time, same bad channel. And until then, remember these words. This valedictory, the monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue ya. Da-da.